People, Ten Stalks, Chelsea Football Club are 2 wins in 11 in all competitions. 2 W's, 2 victorious nights, days, 24 hours, 90 minutes in 11. Maresca, McFarlane, different players, Estevao, Neto, Caicedo, no Caicedo, Santos. One thing is a constant in those 11 games. Different managers, different players, different lineups. The one constant, Behdad Eghbali, Paul Winstanley, Lawrence Stewart, and Joe Shields. There are issues at this football club that transcend the playing staff, it transcends the manager, and it's the rats. We saw them at Craven Cottage sat next to Rosenior yesterday. Behdad Eghbali, I'm pretty sure Joe Shields and Winstanley were the seats below him. These are the guys that gave us the Pedro Netos, the main culprits, the Chalabars and the players like this. This is the squad that these people have built. Whatever manager we want to go to, there is a cap on this squad. Now, we are going to analyse the game. We're going to go over the game. But we have to get that out of the way. Whatever we analyse, whatever we say needs to be done better, whatever we say has been done well, there is a constant and a cap on this team. And the cap exists because of the constant, and that is the ownership and the guys that run this model, this all-knowing, all-seeing model that managers have to change for and everyone else has to change for. But this model is apparently, what we have to trust. So, Chelsea versus Fulham, Craven Cottage, away from home. Big game, midweek, where Liverpool's playing Arsenal, they could drop points there. Man United drop points against Burnley. Man City drop points against Brighton. Maybe if we're looking at Aston Villa drop points there, if we're maybe looking at trying to sneak up against these teams. And Chelsea in 22 minutes are a man down. We're a man down for, I believe, the 7th, 8th, 9th time this season, something around that range. We have to talk about it, the discipline in this team. And it's now getting to the point where, it was never funny. But there was points in the season where the red cards may be a little bit funny, the Man United game, it definitely wasn't funny when Robert got that red card, but the Ajax one, João Pedro got sent off, we won the game, Maresca got sent off in the Liverpool game when he's run down the touchline, funny banter. It's not funny anymore. It isn't funny anymore. It's cost us too many games, too many football matches. We're going down to 10. The Arsenal match, Caicedo, his discipline in terms of yellow cards. He missed the Man City game, he's missing the Arsenal game because of yellow cards. And I know that referees sometimes are a bit dodgy. However, we have to do better. And I think Harry Wilson, bruv, he does well to kind of buy and initiate the contact. But Cucurella holds on too long. A bit soft for me, but red card. And even when that red card happens, I'm like, you know what, we've been there so many times, bro. 10 men. We can probably try to get a result from this game. I didn't think we would lose that football match. And up for 20 minutes, up until that point where we got the red card, we were doing well. We were playing well. We had a lot of pressure in terms of corners, etc., etc. We were, competing well in the contest. And overall, the performance, even after the red card, we won the game on XG, which some people decide whether you like the XG stats or not. I think the XG stats are good when used in context. And in this context where we had a lot of corners, I think we had 11 corners, that maybe increases the XG. But with 10 men to have over 1.0 more XG than a team with 11 men, it's a D shows that we didn't perform as badly as, we could have with 10 men. We didn't capitulate, we still competed, which I can hail up the boys for and say, yes, well done to Callum, well done to all the players that were still on the pitch. We pretty much matched Fulham's final third entries over the 90 minutes. We had 54 to the 55. So in terms of attacking, 10 men, 11 men, in the 90 minutes, it was an even game overall. We struggled to the end of the half where they had that offside goal where we, had 10 men and they started to pile on the pressure. And then they also started the second half well. It was a bit of an even contest. They grabbed the goal. But then from minute 60 to 75, when Cole Palmer started heating up and Santos and all these guys were helping us out, we started to dominate and we started to come into the ascendancy. And it was looking like this goal is coming. And it did come in the form of the lap. I didn't like the fact that they didn't grab the ball and go back to the halfway line because we've got 10 men. Even with 10 men, let's try and win the game. Or, lock in, we got a job to do, we got the goal. Why are we celebrating? It's 1-1. But after that, from 75 minutes to 80 minutes, they had 5 minutes of everything. They didn't have nothing for 15 to 20 minutes before that, and then they had everything in the game. A bit of possession, and then they get the goal. Now, we had a lot of dispossessions in the game. We had 12 dispossessions to Fulham's 3. Around 100 less passes, 4 big chances created to their 0 chances created. So again, as I say, the stats say that it was an equal game. But it was a game that kind of happened and, the impetus and everything kind of swung in like 20-minute spells. And we're going to talk about where Chelsea struggle and where Chelsea thrive and how we get the balance. But one thing that we definitely struggle with, crosses into the box. Whenever there's a cross into the box, it's like someone's throwing a wet fish in the box and everyone's just panicking, like, get it, like, bro. It's like hot potato in there. It's like Mr. Bean football, it looks like in there. It's like a comedy skit when a ball's in the box. Every goal we concede is actually quite funny in terms of that. People are falling around everywhere and people's legs are breaking and ankles are going and people are just slipping and honestly, if I was a rival, I'd just be, even as a Chelsea fan, sometimes I'd just be busting up at some of the goals we concede. When I see the replays, I just see Chalobah and them man slipping over. I'm like, what is going on? It's like a comedy skit at times, as I said. But 5 minutes, and I said it at the time while I was watching the game. I said, listen, if we're gonna have 10 minutes left of this game where they're just crossing into the box, we're gonna struggle and we're gonna concede because we struggle with dealing. As in 5 minutes, just 5 minutes of Kevin, and I'm gonna play it. I did a preview for the game that didn't end up coming out because I just couldn't edit in time. Like, got to game day and I was like, bruv, let me just do a review instead. But I said this about Wilson, I said this about Kevin. Well, Fulham have got plenty of teeth to be worried about. They've got Harry Wilson, bro, a maverick, no Logan Paul fam. That guy is I like him, good footballer. Yeah, I like the look of him. I like, he's got that kind of that stardust that can win you a game. I can get you back into a game. So as long as he's on the pitch, we're gonna have to watch that guy, fam. Eagle-eyed. One guy that I'm scared of is Kevin Blood. I don't know where they got. I think he got it from Shakhtar, bruv. That Kevin guy, bro. They might have to rename him Kevon Blood because he's moving like King Von. Every time I see him get substituted on, I'm like, Kevin Blood. Yeah, I remember that game where he played Man City. Came off the bench, he was cooking, bro. Like Mbappe. He's like watching Vinicius Jr. in his prime. I was like, brother, who's this guy, fam? And bro, every time he comes on, like, every time I watch Fulham, he comes on, I'm like, let's eat. Yeah, Kevin Ball. I think he's got the number 22 in his back, or he's got the 7 on his back. Listen, that guy, bro, with the headband, blood, curly hair, fam, even like some Poundland Lamine Yamal, bro. I knew that Kevin Wilson, I knew these men were dangerous. So I knew that these guys were going to cause us issues. And boy, Kevin, when that guy came on, I mean, bro, that guy is everything we need in a winger. I mean, how they've got him from Shakhtar, why don't we have him? This scouting networks, directors that have got, our sporting directors are so good and they got 9-year contracts and oh my days is doing such a good job. Bruv, you man couldn't even get me a Kevin. You man got me Neto. 150 million of the great British King Sterling spent on Gittins, Garnacho and Neto, bruv. Kevin went for like what? A pack of Watsits and a Fredo? Like, would have been chumps change. If we're really this scouting beast of a project and a model, we would have gone to get a player like that. Or in the summer, we would go and get the player like that off of Fulham. The Ndiays, the Kevins, the guys with quality. If we had Wilson, Kevin, even the guys like Semenyo, guys at these mid-table clubs, yeah, Fulham attackers, Bournemouth attackers, even West Ham attackers, the Bowens and that, in our team, swap them for some of our players, we would honestly have at least 5 points extra, 5 to 10 plus points extra if you just swap our attackers for mid-table attackers. That's the level of quality that we have in this squad after 1.5 billion spent. But yeah, back to the game. Kevin comes on, starts, just beating Achampong, and I know Achampong had a decent game overall, but he kind of struggled in those 5 minutes to deal with Kevin, and he's a hard guy to deal with. You just skip him past Achampong, putting balls in the box, and we can't deal with it. We just had no idea how to deal with it. It's just bubbling around, and people are just panicking, and all this. It was peak. And then obviously, they break through, they get the goal. It's a great finish. Even the first goal, poor marking from Chalobah, another cross into the box, point proven. And then Wilson, ricochet, people not picking up the man again, just comedy stuff. And then Wilson with a good rifled finish. Look at the quality, technical quality on that goal from Wilson. Would you ever see Neto do that? Would you ever see anyone else of our attackers do that? No, you wouldn't. But again, the two main issues, look at the goal, Sunderland goal, the Brentford goal, the Fulham goal that got disallowed. A lot of the goals we concede, and if I could go through the games, I would, and wasn't going just off memory, I could find loads more games where we struggle defending big spaces, and that's why we concede the bulk of our goals. Big spaces. I think there was one versus Karabag we conceded in the Champions League where, again, a big space, and because we like to push high and play with the ball, pause, and have all of our defenders almost on the halfway line and we try and pen teams in. If there's a dispossession, and as I said, in this game we had 12 dispossessions to Fulham's 3, and we don't have we have technical players and we have bad technical players. Our squad is very mixed in that sense, in terms of quality to non-quality. So you have these breakdowns in possession where people are doing dumb stuff like Neto just giving the ball away, running into players, and then we lose the ball, and then they just hit us when there's space behind the defence. So those are two main issues when it comes to Chelsea defending and Chelsea being a bad defence. When you look at the records in terms of clean sheets and stuff, it looks better than it is in terms of our defending, but we actually are bad at defending. Like, we sometimes do well in terms of having clean sheets or maybe goals conceded on the charts, and we look alright in terms of defence, but when you watch the game, there's a lot wrong with our defence. That's something that Rosenior has to look at and say, listen, can I ditch the man-to-man or just do something to tweak things and make it better for us at the back? And even with the ball, when we were attacking in this game and across the season, Chelsea struggle with attacking small areas. When we're attacking, and look at the Wolves game, or games like, maybe Arsenal, where we had a bit of, and the Man City game just the other day. When we're attacking space, and there's more space, and it's a bit of an even game in terms of quality, that's why we do better in the big games. Because when a team is trying to play with us, and we're like kind of matching a team in terms of both trying to win the game and not trying to, be pragmatic, etc., like maybe a Sunderland did. I remember that Sunderland game, they were pragmatic. We had no idea what to do, because we're just like, okay, pass it. Pass it there. It's like when we get the ball, okay, we've passed it to an attacker. It's like, okay, let's go. And it's like, Neto. I'm just gonna zigzag football. Go that way. Oh no, go backwards. Pass. And it's like, bruv, what are we doing? So we struggle to attack settled blocks. We already know this. Low blocks, we struggle in those kind of games. And even when it's not a low block, when there's small areas of the pitch, when they're close to their goal line, there's less space for our players to go. So we end up just going outside the box. And when we have the ball outside the box, in front of the opposition and in front of the defence, this is basics of football. When a team has the ball there, you're not worried as a defence. You're only worried when they try and play through you, or they try and go through the wide areas and get a ball in the box. And even with our balls in the box, Neto cannot cross, bruv. I don't know, you would have thought Neto was like a Catholic. I don't know, Catholic, Protestant, any type of Christian, the way that guy loves crosses, yeah, but the quality of his crosses, terrible. Every time his crosses are just aimless, just hoof to the back post, hoof to the near post. Never any quality, like pinpoint accuracy on these crosses. So the game in itself, when the game finishes, if we look at players that played well, I thought Delap played alright. Enzo Fernandez and Palmer were a bit underwhelming on the whole for me, but in terms of helping us out in spells, they were alright. Pedro Neto, absolutely terrible. Cucurella, obviously the red card. Tosin and Chalobah, not good. Gusto, not very good. Sanchez did alright. Caicedo, Santos, alright. They did alright. On a whole, Delap did well, as I think I already said that, but I can't really fault maybe Callum. Obviously, we get the red card, and we tried. So for me, this game was a write-off. If Arsenal beat Liverpool, everyone else has kind of dropped points anyway. The season starts on Saturday. Beat Charlton, get into the next round of the FA Cup, try and win that competition. Wednesday, huge game at Stamford Bridge, Arsenal, try and win that competition. And then Brentford at home, a team that's now above us. So a big game at home, Stamford Bridge, another West London derby. Rosenior, go and win that game, fix some of the issues. One thing that I kind of want to see is changing the way we build up. I saw it yesterday, and a lot of this season with Maresca. And I like the way that we try and play, we try and build up, we try and play nice football, etc., but it's kind of just a 3 base, 2 in midfield, sometimes 3 in there, but the 3 base in terms of the defenders. 1, obviously, fullback. We know how we used to play. Fullback, still play. Fullback tucked in. 2 centre backs. Fullback inside, or maybe fullback even high in the 10 or whatever. 2 midfielders, a pivot, and then we try and go wide, or we try and punch it through the lines or do whatever. But I want to see what made the early Maresca ball good is that it's not like basketball games are not good. When football games become basketball games and there's no control, I understand that when we have, a lot of the ball, we look good. But I've seen a stat, I'll bring it up, where a lot of the games where we've had the highest possession this season, we didn't win those games. And that's because obviously when you have that lot of the ball, you have a lot of the ball because the opposition's sitting back, and you have a lot of the ball and you're not being able to play through. That's why you have so much of the ball. You're not actually making meaningful, actions, attacks from this ball possession. And the games where we have less possession is where we're actually getting draws, wins, better results. And obviously, as we discussed, that's because we attack well when there's space, or when there's a team maybe tracking back or whatever. When there's a settled defence, we struggle to break it down, and it takes us longer to break it down, which is why we have a higher possession. So, Rosenior, what I want you to do Me personally, what I think could help with this is obviously using our fullbacks to create overloads. I mean, obviously, or just underlaps. It's pretty much the same thing, but uses underlaps a lot more. We used to use the underlaps a lot more in terms of the winger linking up with the fullback, Sancho, Correa, Palmer, and whoever, in whatever sense. I want to see that more, and then also I want to see how we build up, how we play with the ball. Pause. I want to see it change in the way that I want us to create transitions and bring teams on us more and bring the press and the pressure in by, obviously we just pass it around the back, but teams don't actually come and press us anymore. Sometimes we play through it nicely, but we're not lightning anymore. I want us to be deeper, maybe, and bring more players into the fold. So use Sanchez, and I know Rosenior does this with Penders. He does this a lot higher up the pitch. But when we're building up from the back, have Sanchez obviously involved in the build up. Have two centre backs, have your pivot, have your full backs there, and then maybe have your wingers even deeper. Maybe one winger deeper, one winger higher. I'm not a tactician. I don't know exactly how you would do it, but like the Zerbi Brighton kind of way, and other teams. I don't know if Xabi Alonso did it. I'm not a tactician again, but I know that teams do this in terms of inviting teams on them, and then you attack and there's more space. And yeah, as I said, I want to see these fullbacks used in a different kind of way. I will be interested to see what Rosenior brings in and uses to improve this team and make this team better at attacking, scoring goals, and defending. They're just a better football team, taking care of the ball. For me, early on, he's not this next run of 6 games or whatever in all competitions. He's not gonna have much time on the training pitch. He's gonna have like 3-4 games. I don't want to see him doing Amarim like when he first came in. There was loads of games. He changed it up completely system wise, and he didn't have much time to train. He even said in press conferences that I don't have much time to train these guys with my new system, so that's why we're struggling. Rosenior, just play the same system, play our best football players, play the same system, and get us results. That's all we need to see. So let's see. Let's back the boys. Obviously, we're going to complain about the owners. There was a good chance yesterday in the away end, making our feelings heard about the owners and the rubbish that they've been doing in terms of managing this football club. Let's continue to push for change in that regard. But on the football side, let's continue to improve, evolve, do better, get better results.